Good morning, pilgrims. It is day 8 on the Camino Frances in reverse, and today I'm leaving Triacastela. We have a 700-meter climb over like 20 kilometers. It's gonna be a monster of a day. Man, I remember when the Triacastela sign was there on my first Camino, but they took it down. Great night's sleep last night, especially since I had the fan on me the entire night. I didn't even need to use a blanket. It was fine. It was fine. I had a pilgrim that was my neighbor, Carmen. She's blind. She's doing the Camino. She's from A Coruña. She's done a bunch of Caminos here in Spain. She's walking with a support group. And the minute she heard me speaking Spanish, she's like, "Are you from the Canary Islands?" So that kind of proves my theory. Wow, man. It's a cold morning. It's like 55 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like 11 or 12 Celsius. And I'm not putting on neither the fleece jacket nor the puffy jacket because we're climbing. I started climbing already, and I'm gonna warm up and I'm gonna start sweating. It's nice to be with the people that started in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. It's a different crowd than the one that you meet from Sarrión. We talk about different things, and it's just refreshing. All right, let's head out and be on my own on this climb, at least for the first section of it. Here we go. Here's the famous castaño tree that's 800 years old. And castaños, what is that? That's in English, that would be, oh, chestnut tree. That's what it is. 800 years? My God. And in French?
Châtaigne.
Châtaigne. Castaño, châtaigne, chestnut. Nice. Kilometer 139. Yes, today I'm really gonna earn this climb. You know, when I did it on a bicycle coming the other way, there were two places on the Camino where I was just riding the brakes all the way down. One was coming down from Cruz de Fierro all the way down to Molina Seca, and then Ponferrada. My God, that was a long stretch. I think it was like 7 kilometers of just and the second one was this descent over here. So I know what's coming. I do. But the views are gonna be gorgeous, and today is the last day, the last full day in Galicia. Oh man, Galicia, I love you and I hate you. The weather was all over the place. Just to think that the lowest temperature was like -4 degrees Celsius, which is in the high 20s Fahrenheit, and the highest was the other day at 36 Celsius or 96 Fahrenheit. So we had everything. We had snow, rain, wind, the heat. Oh, Galicia, why you treat me like this? But I'm gonna enjoy the day, say goodbye to Galicia, and move on to Castilla y León, where I was about a month ago. This is so crazy, but that's how it goes. I love the mountains, so today is gonna be a beautiful day. Let's do it. Chestnuts. That's a new one. It's been a constant climb. Climbed 3.78 kilometers already, an hour and 15 minutes. I'm on the shadow side of the mountain, but that's about to change. That's kind of why all the colors look flat and bluish. But as soon as I get over this village, it's gonna hit me right in the face. I've seen quite a few pilgrims already, about 6 or 7, but that is kind of to be expected. You know, the climb to Ocebreiro is so massive for so many people that some people break it up. They either overshoot it, stay in Ajerreiras down below just before the climb, and then go over, and they stay somewhere in between Ocebreiro and Triacastela. So there are many ways to break this up. Therefore, people are kind of like scattered. Is this the first arreo on the Camino Frances? In my case, the last one? I don't know. We'll find out. What's up, buddy? This guy came to say goodbye. High five. No? Down below? There you go. I got the first, you're going the wrong way on this section of the trip. It's just, they know. They're joking around. They've seen quite a few pilgrims doing it in reverse. But it's a nice breaker to get the conversation started, where you're heading, where you're coming from. You know how it goes. This section from Ocebreiro to Triacastela is where I had my birthday, my 38th birthday on my first Camino. And then when I did the Portuguese Norte Inglés Muxía to Fisterra, that was like a couple of weeks before my 40th birthday. That was a nice way to round off my 30s and enter a new stage in my life. And then last year, I celebrated my 44th birthday with a group that I was guiding, and we had a little celebration in Atapuerca just before Burgos. This year is gonna take place in Pamplona. So I'm kind of populating the Camino with birthdays. I think in 2026, it's probably gonna be in Santiago, because I really wanna be here for that solar eclipse, which takes place at the beginning of April. So I have to work out the dates so that I can see the eclipse and then have my birthday on the Camino. Ooh, that's gonna be a special Camino. See, the sun is coming out already. There you go, hit me in the face. There's Triacastela. Oh wow, man. That puts it into perspective. When you hear the dogs barking in the distance, that means that pilgrims are coming. Yes, the mask came out, but so did the sun. And I'm just enjoying this little section here that's kind of flat because it's been a constant climb. Now, check out this amazing view over here. I know that town on the bottom right corner, that's Triacastela. But what is that on the top left? Is that Sarria? I don't believe it. I think it is. I mean, I checked on Google Maps, and there's not another large town in the area. So to get both in the same shot, incredible. Goodbye to you both. See you next time around. All right, let's continue climbing. The theme of the day, climb, climb, climb. But we have great weather. Blue skies, there's no wind. I cannot believe it. Only like a week ago, this whole area was just full of snow. You can see it on the webcam from the Municipal Albergue. You can see it on Pilgrim's post online. All the snow in Ocebreiro. I know it looks beautiful, but you do need the gear to be up here in this kind of weather. I didn't have it on the Camino San Abrés, and I had to skip ahead, which I regret, but I'll come back some other time and do that section. I always wanted to do like a winter Camino, and I cannot believe I had the opportunity, but I just didn't have the gear. And I wasn't gonna freeze my butt off up there when I had all my clothes wet. And there was not a single laundry mat in sight. And of course, you can forget about doing it by hand when it's raining and snowing every day. Wow, this is one of the best views, mountaintop wise, on the entire Camino Frances. You have an entire panorama here. Oof, we do have that mining operation there, but just ignore it and look to your left. Can't believe it. Triacastela and Sarria, man. 2 for the price of 1. All right, I need to stop at a place for a break. Maybe have an Aquarius. I need to use the bathroom. You know, climbs, coffee. When you gotta go, you gotta go. And it's just been a constant stream of pilgrims making their way down. They're just having a great time. I'm the only one here, huffing and puffing. You know, there are 2 places on this stage where I usually stop for a break or for lunch. One is El Alto del Pollo, and the other one is Viduedo, where I find myself right now, with the farmers doing their thing. And I'm really hoping that the bar here is open so I can stop and do all my things. This is the tiny chapel. You guys remember it? Let's do it. Let's do it one more time. Let's go in. Capela de San Pedro do Viduedo. Viduedo, where we are right now. Yeah, it's kind of dark in there. All right. Second breakfast time. And number 2 time. Kilometer 136. Now that's a stone marker. Old school. Oh yes, the place was open and I went inside. I was the only one there. I had my second breakfast, but better yet, I used the toilet. If there's one piece of gear that I don't do the Camino without, and you guys are always asking me about this, is emergency toilet paper. Not too much, just enough for 1 or 2 uses, and put it in a Ziploc bag. Ziploc bags are another item that I don't do the Camino without. And it happens, man. It's happened already twice on this trip. And one of those days was yesterday. I didn't mention it, but I had to stop in the woods and do my thing. Yes, sir. Let's continue. Still climbing, still climbing. That's the theme of the day. Today we have El Alto de San Roque with a famous statue that's always backlit. So let's see if today I get a shot of it with the sun hitting it frontal. And we also have El Alto de San Pollo. San Pollo? No, El Alto del Pollo. And then, of course, El Cebreiro all the way at the top. I did something that I recommend you guys do if it comes to it, and I was rewarded for it. I made a reservation at this place a while back when I was on the Via de la Plata, and of course I'm 2 days ahead of schedule, so I wanted to go inside and cancel in person. And they were so grateful, and we had a little moment there chatting. They were so grateful that I canceled, and they gave me a snack bar as a gift, and we talked, and I told them that I'm gonna send them a picture, the one that I took with them now and one next to it when I get to Rome in the Vatican, holding my testimonium. And oh man, I'll come back here eventually. I just have to figure it out. They told me that usually the people that stay here are the ones that start in Las Herreras. You know, they do the climb to El Cebreiro and then they come down here. So that's exactly what I will do. It's a little bit flat up here now, which is super nice. We're gonna be walking next to the road to El Alto de San Pollo, the other place where I usually stop for a snack. And that's what I'm gonna do this time around as well. Gorgeous, gorgeous day. As promised, I made it to Alto del Pollo, 1,300 meters of elevation. Just remember that I started at 700. Just enjoying here the view from this viewpoint, heading down there right now. And I had lunch. There were so many people that I didn't want to have anything complicated, so I just had a slice of tortilla española. It was massive, I couldn't finish it. And a rattler, yes sir. Today's been one of those days where I get asked a lot. I think about 6 or 7 times people have asked me if I'm heading back. They're not saying I'm going the wrong way, of course. And one even pointed out to the Compostela and wanted to see it. I think now we go down here, which this is El Alto del Pollo climb, which is a good one. It's short but steep. And then we had to climb to El Alto de San Roque with a statue there. That one is at an even higher elevation than the San Pollo. And of course, Ocebreiro is the final climb. I think I see that tower over there, that communication tower, and I think that's close by Ocebreiro. So I'm probably heading in that direction. The descent from El Alto de San Pollo is nothing. It's super easy, nothing compared to the climb. And I made it to this little chapel here that back in the day you could ring the bell, but since then they have taken the chain away. So typical here in the Camino, instead of facilitating things, they just take it away. It's not like on the Shikoku Henru, where every time you visit one of the big temples, they have that massive bell there for you to ring. Boom! All right, let's continue. Water fountain from 2020, meaning that wasn't here when I did my first Camino. The Camino is always changing, always evolving. All right, let's go to El Alto de San Roque, which is not higher than the San Pollo. Sorry, my bad. Everything is backwards here. That one is about 100 meters below, but still good. And I can see Ocebreiro. That communications tower is the mountain that's above, and down below is the town of Ocebreiro. Now I hope that I'm going in the right direction, because every time I talk to you guys, those are the moments when I go off track. But I think I'm doing good. Yeah. Let me see. If I face this way, then everything comes back. Yeah, that's the Camino. El Alto de San Roque is still backlit or side lit. We're at 1,200 meters of elevation, 1,270, and it is windy up here. As you can tell, even this guy is holding on to his hat for dear life. Maybe I should do the same. It is the final climb, the final showdown, and it is hot, hot, hot. But that's better than being cold and freezing and snow. I don't know. Incredible views of Galicia right here. Saying goodbye to it, seeing all the small villages down below that are not part of the Camino, but that are great to look at. And I just want to get there ready. For the 5th time, my favorite town on the Camino Frances by far, and to have a whole pension or a whole room for myself. Oh, it's gonna be great. I'll show you guys my routine, and I also show you the different places where I slept in this town, because I mean, for the majority of the time has been the municipal albergue, which has plenty of space. But I also wanted to camp one time. I had my tent, but it rained that day and I couldn't do it. I'm staying at a pension today, and in 2022, I drove through here with a 3D camera to make a 3D video, an immersive 3D video for the MetaQuest. I'll put the link of the video up top and in the description down below. So I did the entire Camino Frances by car. I rented a car in Santiago and I returned it in Pamplona. And the first day of driving was from Santiago to Ocebreiro. I wanted to stay there. Now, since I wasn't a pilgrim, I didn't have the pilgrim passport. They wouldn't let me stay at the municipal. Everything else was solid booked, as it always is. I can't believe I found the bed this time around. So what I ended up doing was just parking my car in a designated area that they have there for campers. And I just slept there in my car in the front seat, the driver's seat. And I spent a great night in Ocebreiro. And today's gonna be another one for sure. All right, man, let's just get there already because I'm beat. What time is it? It's 2:40. Wow, that's even faster than yesterday, and yesterday was an easy day. But I have climbed, let's see, I've done 21.3 kilometers. It's probably gonna be 22 by the time I make it there. Let's see, elevation gain, 1,287. Yes. You know, we started at 700, where we're going to like, what is it, 1,400? So about 600, 700 meters of elevation. But I've been going up and down, so if you add all those little climbs, that's how you get to that number. All right, let's get there. Here we are, finally managed to get my very own room with a bathroom in Ocebreiro. This is a dream come true. Probably even more so than staying at the Parador in Santiago, but that was nice as well. I got a double bed here. Anybody wants to share? And my view, of course, is Castilla y León. Nice, that's where I'm heading tomorrow. Wow. Oh man, it is so hot right now, you wouldn't believe it. And we're like halfway through April, so I can't even imagine how hot it's gonna get here in the summer. Wow, man, let's see really quickly. 73, feels hotter than that. Feels hotter than that. And I know you're gonna ask me, what's that in Celsius? I know. In Celsius it's 24. Oh, I got a towel. I got 2 beds. Oh man. That's the man right there, the one that started it all. yes, I love this town. I love Ocebreiro. Man, I took a shower, took a nap. I passed out in there in my bed. Before I left the room, I left all my electronics charging. And I started calling to make a reservation for tomorrow in Villafranca. So I called like 3 different numbers and nobody wanted to pick up the phone. And I started to get worried. I'm like, what's going on here? So I thought maybe it's like siesta time. I went to the church, which opened at 5. Went in, got a stamp, took a lot of video in there. And then I went to the bar of the place where I'm staying, and from there I managed to get a hold of one of the ladies, and she told me that they're not open for the season yet. So, you know, I started calling other numbers until I found an albergue, the same one that I stayed last year. It's called La Piedra or something like that. There's a huge rock right in the middle. It cuts right through the building. So that's where I'm gonna be staying. And now I'm just waiting for the sunset. Want to see the sunset from up here before calling it a day. Look at this place, man. It's like anywhere I point my camera, I have a great shot. My favorite town. I mean, I do wish that I could have seen this fully covered in snow, but I don't know. I wasn't prepared for that. Not with my gear. But it would have been gorgeous, that's for sure. And this is the famous Municipal Albergue that has one of the best views on the Camino, and it also has a webcam that I've been talking about it for the longest time, and it's up there. So I'm just gonna wave at you guys. Yeah, if you want to see that camera, I'll leave you the link in the description down below. I was checking it out like a few weeks ago, and all of this was just covered in snow. That must have been a sight. You know, even though it doesn't say it here on this picture with all the highlights of this landscape that we have in front of us, I'm pretty sure that city that's all the way over there is Ponferrada. And if it is, that's 50 kilometers away. That's where I'm gonna be the day after tomorrow. And then what's right next to it is the climb to Cruz de Fierro. That's gonna be a good one. I don't know if it's tougher than the one that I did today, but that's gonna be a challenge. And the sun is about to set over Ocebreiro, and I just had my dinner. Now I wanted to mention to you guys my little routine when I enter Galicia. I first have Estrella Galicia, of course. I also go for the pulpo, and I have the caldo gallego. Now, I was supposed to do that for dinner tonight, but I threw the whole thing out the window and I went for a massive burger with fries, a beer. I did have the Estrella Galicia, and also Tarta de Santiago and the coffee liquor. Yep, the burger is famous in this place, so I went for it. I've had caldo gallego throughout the entire trip here in Galicia. Of course, I want to thank the trail angel of the day for helping me stay up here, and today is going to be Lori Wilson. Tomorrow is a big day. We leave Galicia behind and enter Castilla y León, a new stage on the journey. It's going to be a nice descent, like 28 kilometers. I think it's the longest day on this Camino, but it's gonna be easy because we're going downhill. So I'll see you guys tomorrow bright and early for another beautiful day on the Camino Frances in reverse.